You're Chinese.
We're talking box trucks and trips. What? Where did she go?
We're talking antique, a massive antique place in Connecticut, Brittenfield.
And what's it called? Berghain?
It's called Berghain. Yeah, it's where they invented the Holocaust.
It's Dorfman.
Yeah, it's the Holocaust at 240 beats per minute. Auschwitz 2.0.
I can't.
House. Haus. But they had
That's how they caught Anne Frank. She was listening to.
Yeah, she was being a slut.
She was listening to
ketamine.
industrial music.
Yeah,
she was listening to Carl Cox. Turn that down.
They're like, what is that music?
It's good.
Yeah, we're going to like it in 60 years, maybe. Not right now, it's still Wagner, but soon.
Yeah, they're going to experiment with bisexuality. The Shiza rooms.
Yeah, I always thought it'd be cool if, like, Mengele, in addition to the experiments, he also had, like, in his workshop, like a little like keyboard, like he was fucking around with synths.
Yes,
you just get it. Like, like another thing. It was a side project. People didn't know that Mengele was really into like Moog, like
craft
old
work.
school like analog Moog stuff and like patch synths and
sound for 3 days straight.
Because everybody, it's like, you know how people say like Hitler did a lot of bad stuff, but he was a good public speaker. Mengele, horrific scientist experimenting on people. Pretty sick on the keyboard.
Yeah. Super producer.
Yeah, really good beats.
Yeah, he's the Scott Storch of his time.
A magician as soon as he started banging the pads.
Yeah. Our guest today, Nick from MDE.
Yeah.
A lot of people were angry that I just hung out while Shane did the podcast in Providence.
Yeah, they were not happy that you weren't on there.
Yeah, people get really angry about that.
Well, they want to see you.
Well, I don't know.
What the fuck? They couldn't care less what the fuck I was saying.
So really? You might have to come up. These are like stage mics.
Oh, yeah.
So you might have to come up on a little bit. They don't really capture once you're outside of this zone.
Yeah, I'm just mumbling in the background like a fucking asshole.
Well, that's good. They'll take what they can get.
Nick from MDE is here. Stavros, once again, at the M&M store.
Yeah.
In Times Square.
He's at a wedding at the M&M store.
What's he doing? He can't.
His brother's getting married.
But that was yesterday. Today is brunch.
Today is the after wedding brunch, and Stav's taking that real serious.
That's the whole reason he went. Him and his brother haven't spoken for 20 years. And he's like, we just fucking breakfast sausage and cantaloupe?
Damn, you got the whole spread?
Yeah.
You got the whole continental?
Yeah. Thanks for coming, by the way.
Oh, no.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
welcome to New York.
We had fun in Providence the 2 days
Nick was telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should
it was the highlight of the trip.
I want you to make it a nice woodsy stop on the way to hellhole New England, because past Providence it gets grim, like we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boston's no fun for anyone. So.
Yeah.
I was in Boston that same weekend, actually.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Where did you do the comedy?
I did. I was doing stand up at on what's it called? I forget the name of the place. White Horse something.
Harvard University.
I was at Harvard University. I was giving a keynote.
The basement at Harvard University.
Yeah, I did a kind of.
He's writing his jokes on a blackboard, and then the janitor comes by and they say, "Yeah, this shit sucks.
That's gay.
You should be down here." These are fucking.
And who was that janitor? It was Mr. Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
it was. I thought it was Casey Affleck's buddy.
You've seen that video of Norm Macdonald asking Artie Lang about the sketch he pitched on Mad TV?
No.
I guess because Artie was on Mad TV.
Yeah,
and he was also on heroin.
Yeah, he was also on heroin. But
glass coke nose.
He was like. I guess he would pitch stuff, but Chris Farley was the same way. He's on SNL. He would pitch stuff, but he's just a performer.
Yeah.
So his pitches were just ridiculous, but art. It's like there's a clip of Norm Macdonald just being like, "What was that thing you pitched to Goodwill Smith or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like a janitor at a black college, and there's a board downstairs that says 2 + 2, and he puts 4 on it, and they're like, "Oh, he solved it." It took the professors 8 years.
A whole other movie shooting on the side of that.
And Artie's like, "But they rejected it. I guess they said it was racist or something. I don't know."
Anyway, Beetlejuice, get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like. Did you watch a lot of Mad TV? Did you guys
all the time?
Yeah.
Did you
Oh yeah.
Did you like David Herman?
Who's David Herman?
David Herman was the guy who got blacklisted in Mad TV. He was the guy who did the
I don't remember him.
Spishak Industries like spokesperson. He
Oh
was
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
first-
yeah. I forgot that was that the guy's name.
He was the guy from Office Space.
He was the other.
Oh,
tall guy.
him.
It was Michael Bolton in Office Space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he was like the next coming of like Jim Carrey. If you were like,
He got blacklisted.
yeah. I think he either. I don't know the story. I don't know. I used to be like obsessed with that guy. I was like, man, he's the funniest guy of all time.
Yeah, because they had like 3 different tall guys.
Yeah, Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald, the other one, and then that guy.
Yeah, that guy was the first 2 seasons. David.
Yeah.
Yeah, David. Herman.
Yeah, 95 to 97.
Yeah, and then I think he either like decked an executive or
Really?
ran a sketch to the ground, and they were like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then he was just black. And then he just didn't. Now he's I think he's a voice or something.
He's a
fine.
voice actor.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia.
I know Christian Duguay, who was on the first season or 2, or maybe 2 or 3.
Christian Duguay.
Maybe he was on the show later.
Yeah, that had to be that. Like when there was like everybody on that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I remember. Like,
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
What's when Seth Meyers' brother was on it?
Yeah,
Josh Myers.
Josh Myers. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the end there.
yeah.
I remember hitting up David Herman, and I was like, "Yo," when I first started, when I was like a fucking latrine, and I was like, "Yo, man, you're the best."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I don't talk to anyone." I felt like a fucking pussy. I was like, "Oh."
That's me, dude. I'm trying to be that guy. I don't talk to anyone.
But he was in a movie 25 years ago.
respond, but like talking to people to let them know you don't talk to people.
Yeah, telling you, like, really fucking pissing in my cornflakes.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me.
He doesn't have a David Herman subreddit who's harassing him constantly.
I've told him that story before, but I did that with Jim Gaffigan when I was like a teenager.
Really?
Jim Gaffigan, I found his like AOL like instant messenger screen name.
And you hit him up?
I did. I was like, dude, I'm a huge fan. And this was 45 years ago. This was before.
This was
during the Reagan administration.
Yeah, this was like way before like, anyone, he wasn't like the huge Jim Gaffigan that people know him to be now. And I was like, hey, I'm a big fan. He's like, oh, thank you. That's obviously it's like, this is like an old man trying to figure out how to use the computer. And there's just like a child that's like, hey, I love you, and he's probably like trying to delete, he doesn't want to go to prison.
He's saving your email for like later.
Yeah. And then I sent him, there used to be a website called Tard Blog, which was a blog written by a special education teacher where she would just like go in on the kids.
Really?
Yeah. And I sent it to him, and he just responded, I'm not offended, but I have to go. And then he never responded.
They really knocked the wind out of you.
Yeah.
A nice teenage.
I like that he clarified he wasn't offended. He could take it.
And now here we are 35 years later. It turns out Jim Gaffigan's a fucking retard.
Yeah.
Turns out he had Down syndrome the whole time, and no one knew.
No
You
one
gave him
got it.
$38 million for it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why I was talking about candy in his act so much.
Yeah, total serial. It was
Yeah.
all like a, like a ruse to hide the fact that he's a Cookie Crisp man in reality.
So what?
Do you run this live?
What's that?
Do you run this live?
What do you mean live?
This is like or do you edit or at all or no?
It doesn't get edited, but it's not live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this won't come out till next week.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Do you
And
have
then
some-
if you say anything, you're like, I don't want that in there, just let me know, and I'll forget to
Just
take
say
it
the
out.
timestamp.
Yeah, I'll just run the clock.
Yeah, we got this too. In case you ever want to get a little hot, you can just throw that in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll work right off of it. Yeah. I'll fuck that up somehow.
Yeah, well, you got to press the button. You can't be like, he's Chinese. I understand why they call them, and forget to hit the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We've had a number of instances where we've forgotten to hit the button.
I'm pretty good at it. He's bad at it.
I'm pretty bad at it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He doesn't like me touching the
I had
board.
practice because growing up, me and my cousin would do that on the phone all the time.
Really?
Well, you'd call
Oh.
somebody and then use the button. You'd be like, "What's up?"
Wicked funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good phone joke.
Yeah, elementary school. That
That's
was
still funny.
the move. I was like, yeah, I got to talk to this Jim Gaffigan online and tell him about these retards. I think one of the retards is doing that move.
Yeah, that's Did you do a lot of prank phone call jokes with your cousin?
No, never prank phone. I always wanted to be better at prank phone calls when I was a kid, but I would cave under pressure. I wasn't ever any good at it. I was better at prank phone calls as an adult. I developed
like a party trick.
No, not a party trick. I had my own thing. I did like an album as an old man, and I'd call places as a senior citizen.
No shit.
Yeah, with just like absurd demands. Like I called like Outback Steakhouse and demanded to bring my own onion in to bloom. Or to like, and they wouldn't let me do that. And it's like, well, I want to come in. I want to select my onion in the kitchen.
I'm going back there. I want to fucking see what's going on.
Yeah.
Back there.
Well, if you act like just this helpless, like demented old man, like people don't hang up on you because they feel bad. So you can keep them on the phone. You can keep the manager of an Outback Steakhouse on the phone for an hour and a half.
They're like, stay on the phone and don't lose them.
Yeah. Right.
This is going above and beyond.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're really nice. At the end of the phone call, it kind of because a lot of prank phone calls, you're just trying to piss people off.
Yeah,
but if you can piss people off and then restore their humanity in the end, it has like a nice like kind of narrative arc.
Yeah, well, let's not make this all bad.
Yeah,
like I used to prank prostitutes on Craigslist at parties on speakerphone.
I used to prank them too by giving them $300.
Yeah,
right,
for a half hour.
And seeing like we would see how far they would go.
You remember when you like it was the week back page got like shut down by the FBI, and you had I guess solicited or whatever like the week prior.
No, that was my friend.
Oh yeah, your friend did it, and then your friend was real nervous, and he came over to my apartment, and he was sweating bullets.
No, I wasn't.
Me.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, I know your friend. I mean, your friend that was very nervous about getting in trouble because it was just like the week. It happened to be the week they shut that website down.
Yeah,
you were waiting for Sipowicz to bust through the door.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't me, but yeah, that. Yeah, you know how it was. Okay, we can move on.
Well,
Yeah,
crime will do that to you.
Yeah.
When you commit a crime, you get all the paranoia of the things that could possibly happen.
Yeah.
But we used
especially a coming crime. Can you imagine how much it must suck to be a rapist? Like afterwards. Like just a regular post.
No one appreciates how stressful it must be.
Like a regular, yeah, exactly. No, I mean it. Like a regular post nut with somebody that's not a crime.
Right.
You're already like, what did I do? But imagine
that person wanted to fuck you.
You raping like an 8th grader at gunpoint, and then have to be like, I gotta get my life together.
I forgot to pay my taxes.
Yeah.
I was sober.
Yeah, my dad had kids by my age.
You fucking loser.
By the time my dad was my age, he had a fucking career and a family.
My God.
I'm over here in an interrogation room.
No one's trying to help the pedophiles too. It's like that's like you're not going to like there are no nonprofits having a gala to like.
Well,
save
you have an
the
option if you're a
pedophiles.
pedophile. Just like join the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Become like a huge
work
Democratic.
harder.
Yeah, exactly.
There's what's the spirit cooking? Those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
You get to one of those if you fuck enough kids from.
Become a performance artist. The barrier to entry is nothing.
Yeah,
I think you have to be able to like release any kind of bodily fluid onto a canvas, and then you're a performance artist.
Yeah, but I feel like
if you can shit, you can. There's a place for you at the table.
You still need a RISD degree, I think.
Do you?
Yeah, I think like it's hard for these regular average Joe blue collar pedophiles these days.
Were you with us when we went?
You need the elite.
When we went
stamps.
to RISD, me and
Shane.
Me and Shane.
You guys were telling me that it wasn't what you thought.
I mean, I didn't think anything of it, but it was wild.
You were trolling for puss?
Well, we walked in and there's kids like just laying on the floor doodling, like just in a fire exit, like just some kid with
they were working on their art.
The mixed race haircut, the like broccoli, kind of floppy broccoli.
The weekend haircut.
Yeah. Just fucking like doodling
poorly.
Like, I guess this is what art school is.
Yeah,
$7,000 for that. If you break it up per class, like 15 classes a semester, you paid like $438 to draw on to fuck up a piece of paper, art supplies.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
there are a lot worse things you could do with your life.
Apparently it's super expensive though. I guess RISD, like even like the numbers really get super. Like it's not 36.
Is it a state
70.
institution?
I don't know.
No, it's not.
The only thing I know about RISD is Family Guy, right? Seth MacFarlane.
I did a show at Brown RISD with Brandon Wardell once, and they got pretty mad at him.
At Brandon Wardell?
Yeah, they got mad at Brandon.
Why?
Because he told it was right after the Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad, and he was like, "What if they reshot that with Caitlyn Jenner?" And they thought he was being transphobic. And,
Yeah, you're not gonna lose that 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, and then they were like,
That's a great bit, though.
"Boo!"
And then what? The cop puts the Pepsi on his cock.
He didn't. He really. He didn't go
He
beyond.
drinks it with his dick. Her dick. She pulls her. Hey, 19-year-old woke art school students. What if Caitlyn Jenner's man penis that he has, he pulled it out of his dress?
See, Brandon,
and the cop, who's in the right, by the way, I don't remember how the commercial went, but the cop was the good guy.
The cop had a gun.
Yeah,
and then she. Gave
and I
him a
respect.
Pepsi.
Let's have 5 minutes of silence for the police officer in the Caitlyn Jenner Pepsi ad.
I think 3 of them would fall out of the ceiling by jumping on their own fucking head. Like 3 of them would just like put their hands in their pockets and dive on their own neck to break it.
Yeah.
If they ever heard that in real life. Like it's you'd really.
I got in trouble. I did a show at UT when I was like 23 or something, and I said cunt. And they're not even like I didn't even call someone a cunt. I just like said, there was, I forget what the joke was. It's like you can't be a cunt while you're doing it. And people were on walkie-talkies. Like there was like a crisis.
Audience members?
No, like the fucking
staff,
the people. Yeah, the people that like put the event together. Like 10 someone said the C slur. It was like a fucking big issue.
That's so funny.
Well, Texans are clean. They have like there's probably like 60% of them that you're not even thinking about are like, come on, man, don't do that.
Yeah,
like this is a guy you're having a beer with,
right?
And he's like, dude, what's with the foul language, man?
Yeah.
And you're like, holy
really?
shit, did you just say that to me?
All we got in Texas: steers, queers, absolutely no slurs.
Yeah, no cussing.
Steers, queers only. No, that's our LGBT.
I dragged
We
that.
like Q the most.
Mm-hmm.
I dragged that gay guy from my truck for 20 miles, but I did not say one cuss.
Mm-hmm. Hey, pal.
I didn't cuss.
I
about
may
him.
be racist, but I am not transphobic. I may be in the Ku Klux Klan and live in a sundown town, but if any one of my family members decided to cut their penis off, I would be there.
That's fine by me.
In my 10-gallon hat in the waiting room.
I mean, that was
Waiting
kind
to
of
kiss their brand new vagina right in the lips.
that was
Playing a big fat kiss.
Just take my 10-gallon hat off and give it a smooch.
Mwah.
Welcome to the family.
Yeah. Yeehaw.
Z.
Yeehaw, brother.
that was kind of the fallout from Dolezal though, which was like everyone's like you cannot do that for your race.
Mm-hmm.
They're like it's as much of a social construct as gender.
You're saying Dole is all valid.
I'm saying if you can cut your penis off and be a lady, why can't you? Why can't you say you?
Yeah, I mean the real test with Dolezal was like what happens after she's canceled. It's like the argument is that she's like exploiting being fucking black for some personal gain or something, or likes being a victim. But after she got canceled, if she didn't like fucking like, all right, I guess I'll fucking straighten my hair out and go work at Joanne Fabrics, like but she's like, she lost everything and now she's just doing braids somewhere.
She does hair.
She
now.
does
Is that
hair.
really?
Yeah, for black ladies.
And she's still just black as shit. So it's
Yeah.
like, no, that's a black woman.
Yeah, no, she was really undeterred.
Mm-hmm.
I follow her on Instagram and she rocks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
She just stayed.
She's about the life.
She stayed the course.
She
Yeah.
stayed the course.
She's ripping
yeah.
a Black and Mild right now.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she changed
never-
her name to like something.
Yeah, and she got even more African.
She doubled down.
Like yeah.
She was,
like,
it's like
she's fucking Cheryl Swoops
not
right now.
nacho chotle,
Yeah, Baraka,
Nestle Coco,
yeah.
something. Yeah,
yeah.
She's wearing a kufi right now.
yeah, yeah, real ethnic.
She's about it. Yeah.
She got her
Fair.
clitoris
Have you
cut
s-
off.
have you
she got,
seen-
she got her.
Yeah, she had female
She did
genital
FGM.
mutilation.
She did that. She did that
She-
for no reason.
she actually-
did that. She was cocked.
Yeah.
She shot up the N train last week.
Yeah.
She threw a smoke bomb onto the N train and shot it up.
She's trying out for the X Games. Right?
Yeah.
She's doing all the new things.
She should, dude. She should leapfrog regular black people and just become like full hotep.
Dude, that would rock.
But yeah, go even further.
She does. Yeah, she also does art too now. That where she paints like
That's
black,
the move.
black women
You
primarily.
get canceled.
does?
And everybody does the reverse Hitler. They get canceled and then they go art, rather
Art.
than art first, then doing the bad
true.
stuff.
Who's buying these paintings though?
Hunter Biden's friends.
The Hunter Biden collection. Like
Yeah.
just, that's the like the backbone of your art collection is the like the fringy. Like you have Dalzell stuff.
Dalzell, John Wayne Gacy, Hunter Biden,
Yeah, you got a Hunter Biden.
Did you
George
see-
Bush, George Zimmerman,
What's his name? The guy
Yeah.
that shot Reagan.
John Hinckley.
is playing
Junior?
a show in Brooklyn.
But what kind of show? I saw
Like a-
that.
It's deep house.
No, it's
Yeah,
no, it's like a acoustic guitar singer songwriter.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I want to go.
I hope they're fucking insane lyrics.
I want to open for him. No, they're like very normal.
Really? They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
raindrops.
He's just doing
sadness.
like Finger 11 covers.
Finger. Yeah. He's doing POD.
I think Sean. I was,
I'm not paralyzed.
Touched by you. he's doing an acoustic.
was he? He was trying.
Yeah, that
He was trying to get pussy
Taps
off
the
of Jodie
guitar.
Foster.
Yeah, and then Jodie Foster a couple years ago was like, I would fuck him. I'd let him destroy my pussy.
Who, the guy from Finger 11?
No, yes, but also
I
John Hinckley
haven't
Jr.
had dick in years. But
Yeah, she said.
I'd go back for that guy that shot
Yeah.
Reagan for me.
Yeah,
I'd ride him.
I'd ride.
I'd sit him in his chair. The only way she's gonna come is if he has the night vision goggles on. Not every time we hang out, they always go like that.
Yeah,
The 78 to 82 version night vision.
John Hinckley just fucking a blind Jodie Foster on night vision.
She's dressed like Melissa Etheridge. She's not hot cop anymore.
Man, it must have been crazy for him to find out she became a lesbian.
Yeah.
So all of that to get pussy off of this lady. That's why I didn't get pussy off her. It wasn't because she wasn't impressed.
Well, if you're gonna
She's
fix a
impressive.
lesbian, I mean, I think probably the only option is
Kill the
kill the
president.
fascist president. If a lesbian's gonna give up pussy,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, to a man with like a severe mental illness,
yeah.
probably the only way to do it, really, logically, is shoot Ronald Reagan in the head.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense to me.
Mhm.
That would get me back on pussy
Mm-hmm.
if a lady did that for me.
Yeah.
Dead presidents, make lesbians wet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true.
The idea of dead.
You know what's crazy?
Republican presidents.
Nobody talks about President Garfield, who also was murdered. He was assassinated.
How do you go down?
He was just shot or something. I don't think.
Yeah,
You know,
Well,
like
yeah.
every other president that's even Reagan, who like wasn't even assassinated. That's like, you know, that everyone's got that in their head.
I
Kennedy,
guess-
obviously, Lincoln,
it's
but
because of the name, dude. No one took him seriously.
Garfield.
Yeah.
But it was before the cat. The cat thing only goes back to the 70s. I
Nah,
think.
he changed it. 'cause
They
of
didn't
that.
have Garfield. Wasn't. It was all just. But cartoons in the early 1800s were all like an octopus wearing a top hat and his arms just say like international. Yeah,
France,
internationalization.
Germany. Yeah,
Global
yeah.
railway.
Revanchism.
that shit is not funny.
kids.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Freemason butt
Yeah.
fuck kids.
And what were people doing in like 1810? They were looking at that and being like, ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha! It's an octopus.
This is good.
This is hilarious.
This is the good shit.
and then they'd go and then they'd read Garfield.
yeah,
Yeah.
Garfield really changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
all the lasagna and God, kill that. Just fucking destroy me.
Are we gonna go into the Sunday morning cartoons bit? That's always a classic pool of content of mine for radio chit chat.
Oh yeah,
Family Circus. Who the fuck?
Who's reading?
Who's reading Family Circus?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's that little guy with the big nose?
I feel like Sunday morning cartoons. They peaked right after like we had been through like you know 2 horrific world wars, so everyone had PTSD.
Yeah.
So they needed like you know mentally deflated baby shit to entertain them.
It was the first time like
Yeah.
like, truck drivers are watching like cartoons and they're
Yeah.
just blown out.
Yeah, right.
Perfect, just when I needed.
The only way you could appreciate Beetle Bailey is if, like, you know, you would watch your brother's like skin
Blow his arm
melt
off.
off. Yeah,
Your brother comes back with a fucking nub and he's
Yeah.
like, brother,
we
you're like,
lost so
"Fuck."
many beautiful boys.
oh, that's great. It's a kitty cat asking what's for lunch. Like somebody makes popcorn and he flips out and kills his wife. And he just needs Garfield. He needs Garfield to calm him down.
He's drinking an ice cold Budweiser at 9 a.m. to cool off.
Yeah. Well, time to get my hair cut again today. Third time today, get another haircut. Come home, read Garfield.
Take a shower and load my lunch pail for tomorrow.
Fuck my wife and get her pregnant once a year. Scream and cry the whole time.
And beat the shit out of those little bastards. Yeah, you guys were You guys were talking about box trucks earlier, and I thought, what the fuck was it? I was so excited about that.
You had a box truck story?
You guys driving box trucks, and the
yeah.
fact that we all at one point realized that driving 26-foot box trucks without a CDL, because like we have like Chinese RISD students that rent them.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm moving my studio.
Yeah.
And every now and then you'll just like look in the window of a 26-foot box truck and see like a 5'2" like Chinese
And
art
he's
student.
crying.
Yeah. Okay, I will go.
Like driving like a drunk driver down. And like when I'm a pretty good driver, I used to drive dump trucks and stuff but when I drive those, I feel like a lunatic. Like this is illegal. This feels like I'm on my way to 9/11/2.
Yeah.
And these things are like at U-Haul, these like bombs for rent.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy because they let you rent 30-foot trucks too, and the difference between a 16-foot truck and a 20-foot truck is like huge. That's a big jump.
One is a school bus.
So, 16-foot, like anyone can drive that, but once you're driving a 20-foot truck, like you really need to be aware of like the space.
Yeah,
because it's two whole car lanes.
Yeah, and there's a moderate air brake that's kind of a weird thing to get used to, like just a psst,
yeah.
Like you're not used to that when you're driving your Honda Fit.
But a 30-foot truck, that's like, it's another fucking 30% larger than a 20-foot truck, and that's you should have to have a CDL to drive one.
It's the equivalent of letting like anybody like drive like commercial lawnmowers through like Times Square.
Yeah,
and there's like 6,000. It's very lethal.
Yeah,
it's like someone holding a lawnmower while walking down the street with the blades coming at you.
Yeah.
No, these are all just legal things. I like thinking about things.
Yeah, it's crazy because you need a CDL to drive a bus, but only because of the amount of seats that it has in it.
Right.
So you can drive a truck the same length, the same vehicle.
Right.
As long as it doesn't have seats in it, you can drive without a CDL.
How the fuck did that loophole go through?
Reagan. That's why fucking Hinckley shot him, dude.
He was pissed.
He was like, I grew up on a safe, tiny bus for me and Jim Gaffigan. And then you put these,
Jodie Foster suck my dick in.
Mm-hmm. What's the idea behind the short bus? Is they're like, well, there's not going to be that many retarded kids. There can't be that many of them. We
just a guess. A stab in the dark.
Yeah, we need a smaller
It's
bus.
going to be half as many as the regular kids.
Mm-hmm.
They were rich on that. That's
what they
rich.
should do? Because how regular schools will have a couple of mentally handicapped kids.
Yeah.
They should have mentally handicapped schools, and then they put a couple of regular kids in there.
Yeah.
And then they ride the short bus.
They're just the fucking Mac. They're getting laid constantly.
No, I mean they're a minority in that social group, so they would be like
picked on.
Yeah, they would be picked on. They would be nerds. There'd be a guy there, it's in the class.
Straight eyes.
Yeah, the teacher would be like, "What's 2 + 2?" And then the kid would be like, I guess it's 4. And they'd be like, "Oh, here comes Poindexter." "Oh, what's that, Professor?" He's just not getting any pussy.
He's not getting in, and then one girl.
They're like, "You never get any pussy." He's like, "Yeah, it's illegal. I can't fuck anyone in this school. I'd go to jail."
But I'll try my hardest.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they work they'll work at Market Basket. Like I caught Market Basket near us. Like there's an abnormal amount of retarded people working there.
Yeah.
Right now, I work at a car dealership. I sell cars, but next door to it is a Market Basket where we go grab lunch. It's like a Whole Foods Light, and they have like it's 40% or something. Like it's a conscious effort.
Yeah. Well, because they get fucking rebates from the state.
So
you go in there and you think like, oh wow, these heroes. It's like no, that's slave labor.
Yeah, it is slave labor. This kid's riding around on like a motorized cart, like making whistling noises.
Yeah, and then the company gets paid by the state to have them work there.
But I saw a bus.
Yeah.
I saw a bus drop off. So if you're like the general manager of a market, like you know what you're doing. You're like, hey, we got 15 of them today.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be some shit like
on
flying
work
on
release.
Like one of them just got his hand in like the fruit or something like that. Like,
there's just some guy in a seersucker suit that comes out of the bus. He's like, I've got a wonderful selection for you today.
We're going to line them up.
We got get up on the block, Eddie.
Shining him up with Vaseline. Like,
show the gentleman your penis, Eddie.
He has the strength of 2 men.
Like a bull. He's like a bull, like an oxen.
Pick up that box down yonder.
Look at the viscosity of his
Look
saliva.
at this
That's how you can
specimen.
tell the vitality of him by the viscosity of his saliva.
He's snapping his fingers in his face.
You could oil a jet engine with that sputum. Look at it. That's deep mucus. That comes from the gut.
Oh my heavens.
We fill him up with Reese's Pieces in the morning. He starts producing that thick saliva, ready for a jet engine. Oil a whole locomotive with just a morning's dose of this boy's spit. Get in there, push them cars, boy.
Look at him run. Look at his gait.
That would be 50 cents for today. If you want the helmet with, that's another 25 cents. And he's going to need that helmet. I'm telling you now, he's going to need that helmet. You bonk him up the head, he ain't got too many points left on the chart. He gets starting out maybe around 68. You fucking whack him with a hammer. He's down in the low 40s. He becomes nonverbal. And you better have those Reese's Pieces ready.
Fuel him up. Get him back.
He's
going to
get violent on you. I lost a daughter to him. I know. I lost a daughter to that boy.
This one's real near and dear to his heart. He's caused a lot of personal pain. He's been with him for years.
He snapped a neck. She let him touch his hair. She knows. I told him, do not let that boy touch your hair. I sat her down. I put the Steinbeck movie on. Fast forwarded right to the end. I said, this is what's going to happen. You let that boy touch your hair.
I turn around for 1 second.
He throttled her. He thought he could twist the whole head off and she'd be filled with Sierra Mist. He thinks people are soda. We try to tell him that ain't a 2-liter, it's a young woman.
There's got to be, I mean, like that conversation that has to happen though. Like, how do you have that? It's kind of like, Shane actually talked about it, but like you think about it, you're like, you gotta know, you gotta like in there. It's an exciting amount of retarded people. Like you look around, you're like, holy shit, it's like half and half.
Yeah,
rolling around and like, wow, it's like, and they got it down. Everybody's suited. It's just a fun thing to think about. Like, is the labor force now is like total trash.
it's gotta suck to be a normal guy and work there. Be like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
This is my life.
I fucked up.
I'm 28.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
is
mean,
a
not that
union.
I could have been a doctor, but I could have worked at a normal grocery store.
I'm a union grocer because I think they're union.
Yeah.
So like I'm a
So
union.
they're getting $17 an hour.
I'm getting $17 an hour to like fucking pick up like a
Yeah.
a retarded kid with a helmet on that just ran his head through a fucking toilet paper.
Right, he's
wrap.
drowning in the yogurt case. He's just
This is my life now.
Suffocating on fire.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Dude, those guys can't get fired.
No.
Those union retards. They're good men out there.
What are the grounds though? There's got to be one.
Yeah.
There's gotta-
They're
Like one bad
they're
boy.
like, oh, we're organizing the local 40, and somebody's like, how about local 15? Maybe around 5.
It's too high.
40's a lot.
Yeah, you want danger.
Whoa. Yeah.
There's one bad boy named Johnny. He's got like a greaser haircut. He's a
Local.
retarded kid. He's still fucking the girl that works inside. He's
Yeah.
picking her up on his like what he thinks is a Harley Davidson.
It's a Harley with training wheels.
It's not. It's just it's like a cardboard cutout that he's walking around. He's got like a badass leather jacket. With like, it's a legit He's in the Hells Angels,
Yeah.
which we saw some on the way up here. Some Hells Angels on the way here.
They
Yeah.
used to have a clubhouse in the East Village.
No, we
Really?
we met him. Well, you met him.
Well, we both met him.
You guys
Yeah,
should
yeah.
join.
No, we chill. One night, Nick and I spent a couple hours with one of them, and I don't think
It's-
that they
it's
would
pretty-
accept me.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
was
think
pretty-
I'd meet the criteria.
It was pretty like
you were talking about books.
it was
No.
pretty tragic because it's
Really?
like, yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I mean, I felt bad for the guy, but
He was second generation.
yeah, so he's
Second
like-
generation Hells Angel.
Yeah,
You
so
could
he's like
tell
born-
that he was born into it.
born into it, and then it's like once you get past, it's like cool. I'm in a biker gang. It's like then your life is just like
He was like Bobby Bacala. He could have done.
yeah,
something
exactly.
else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
just backhanding a woman named Sherry across like a lake house.
Yeah,
somewhere at a
or
campsite.
you know what it's like? It's like being Hunter Biden. You know, Hunter Biden. I read the book. I read the laptop book.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like I buy all that shit. The like fucking like any book that's featured on Tucker Carlson or like that's mostly a compilation of like racist Substack articles. I'll buy that self-published shit on Amazon and read it. And like the laptop from Hell book. It's written by a New York Post reporter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you followed that story, but
Is it a fantastic laptop filled with great stuff, or is
yeah,
it?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there was a computer repair shop in Delaware and Wilmington where this legally blind albino guy that fixes computers, Hunter Biden comes in, drops off his laptop, fucking like coked out of his mind.
With his Finger Lakes tattoo on his back?
Yeah.
fresh Finger Lake ink tattoo on his back?
And he like never picked the laptop back up. The guy waits like 90 days and he had to like back up the hard drive. So he backs up the hard drive, but in doing that, he can see what's on the laptop. And he's like, there's stuff on here that seems like kind of criminal. So he contacted the FBI. The FBI never got back to him. And then so he gave it to Rudy Giuliani, was the only person that responded to this legally blind, like albino, like.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What kind of, like, why? Why can't it, like, that?
Like Casper from Me, Myself, and Irene. Like that guy.
yeah, Milky.
Yeah, Milky. Yeah. And fucking Rudy Giuliani's the only guy that takes the thing. So then this guy's like, the poor guy was like fucking like harassed, lost his business, had to go into hiding because of, like Twitter drama over turning this laptop in. But the New York...
the Hunter Biden art collectors were coming after.
The New York Post was like, they reported on it, but this was like in October. So Twitter banned the New York Post from Twitter. Like they deleted their account for like disseminating disinformation.
Yeah.
And then that turned into this big like political thing or whatever. But Miranda Devine at the New York Post like wrote a book on what's in the laptop. Now the market for the book is like conservatives that are like all Democrats are pedophile, like just like people that hate Hunter Biden, they hate Joe Biden or whatever. But like reading it, if you just like it because it's entertaining, because I'm an idiot. So when I look at here's what I like about conservative news is like you don't have to learn anything. Like I'm staying like informed, and what that means is I've just seen 6 or 7 pictures of Hunter Biden's penis. That's reading the news for me.
I've seen it.
I've just seen his.
He's got a nice hog,
right? I could go to a dinner party and tell you about Hunter Biden's penis, and that's me being like worldly.
That's really big of you.
Yeah. But it's funny. Like reading the book, it's like I don't know how you can read that and not just feel like just heartbroken for Hunter Biden.
Really?
Because it's like life fucking sucks, dude. It's like
he's smoking crack about it. He's not too pumped about it.
Well, he's had all this.
He's in a lot of pain.
He's born into all this privilege, but it's like immediately loses his mom and his like fucking sister in a car accident as a child. Then that like tragedy
sacrifices his family immediately for political gain.
Yes,
right. For the blood god, smashes it between 2 pieces of marble at an obelisk underneath the White House. Yes,
he gets dumped onto like an aunt and a grandma or something while Joe goes to Washington to be a fucking senator. Then Joe remarries, and then like I guess he has a weird relationship. He's always treated as like a fucking liability or whatever. And his like
brother
and his whole life as an adult has just been like to be like a fucking bag man for the Biden family. So he gets set up with these fake jobs where nobody respects him, he can't do anything, and then he gets a paycheck, and then he has to use the paycheck to like pay Joe Biden's AT&T bill. That's the way they launder the money. Is like he has to pay contractors to get their like houses fixed. He's like, so he doesn't like keep any of the money.
He's just and
then his brother dies, and he's in like some like fucking like drug addled like a hallucinatory state, and starts fucking his dead brother's fucking like wife.
As one, you should always do that.
That's honorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do like a.
And then
salute.
It's like the movie Pearl Harbor. It's
he's just an absolute fucking like tragedy fuck up. He has such an unsympathetic problem being like the president's son who's like a millionaire kid that like there's a deeper level of like empathy you have to have for him because it's like his life obviously this person's suffering. And it's not like, oh, he's a little girl with cancer. Nobody feels bad for Hunter Biden.
Not a soul.
Nobody.
Yeah. I'm even like as you're saying it, I'm like, would I actually?
Yeah, right. No, who cares?
No.
But if you sit there and have to read through it for fucking 3 hours, however long it takes to get through that piece of shit, it's like, you can't help but just. And now he's like this new thing now is like because it's like oh well his paintings and then like Tucker Carlson all these guys go crazy for his another money laundering scam where he sells these bullshit paintings in the White House and it's like he didn't want to paint those paintings. He just has to like Joe's like we're gonna make a bunch of shitty paintings.
Yeah,
you're gonna draw a bunch of garbage, and everybody's gonna call you a fucking faggot, shitty painter. Also,
no matter what, that's coming down the pipeline.
Now at 50 years old, on top of being a pedophile, an incestuous pedophile, now you have to be a shitty artist.
Who
also
fucked your brother's wife, and now you have pretty good apps. Like his paintings aren't.
You got to do that.
They're not that bad.
Because I'm trying to get a Quibi subscription. I can't.
And if you could just go ahead and send me the password for this godforsaken thing,
and you're gonna pay for my Netflix this month.
Oh, very funny. You set the password as "I killed your mother for a blood sacrifice, a marble obelisk, blood drink." God damn it, Shaq is Freemason. Ha ha ha. Very funny.
Yeah, and then having to live in his brother's shadow too, because like Bo was set up to be the one where it's like he's gonna have the political.
He's
career.
gonna be the new senator from Delaware.
Yeah.
Was Bo Obama's dog's name?
Yeah.
Was that a funny joke?
Yeah,
Maybe.
it was. It was like, this is how much I respect your dead son.
Biden.
Isn't that like a little insane?
Yeah, it's kind of mean.
That'd be like
Obama
if you told me like a
hates Joe
terrible,
Biden.
like, hey, my cousin Jen sucks dick for Vicodin.
Yeah.
And then you're just getting blown by my cousin Jen. You're ripping, like you're cracking a Vicodin off the top of the back of her head, like, ripping lines off, and you're like, dude, she does suck, but her fucking molars are missing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get an infection. But it's just very like that. That was, now that you think about it in hindsight, he's been getting tooled on as a poor bastard.
And he just can't stay sober.
And then his friends are like his
stand-ups, aren't they?
No, his only friends in the world are like his dead brother's wife, who he's a drug addict with, and then they have this like Sasha Obama.
The other one?
Hey, Sasha, it's me.
Those are the only people that he can like hang out with.
3:30 in the morning, he's calling her at fucking
Yeah.
Harvard or wherever she's
And then
around.
and then like Secret Service agents that shouldn't be on his detail anymore. They come after like clean up his mess.
Hey,
Just imagine you're trying to kill yourself with drugs. You're too much of a pussy to actually do it because there's nothing. You know that like that would just add to the tragedy. It's not like you can restore your dignity even in death. You know, like if you killed yourself, there would just be pictures of your asshole.
like you shit your pants after
right,
you shot
exactly.
yourself.
You're just asshole is on the front page headlines. Absolute fucking loser faggot finally does what everyone wanted him to do. So because of that, he can't just put the gun in his mouth. He has to just keep shooting heroin into his arm and smoking crack. And then the second before you're finally about to overdose and maybe get like a shred of like hope that people will just let you rest. Fucking guys in sunglasses kick down the door and drag you back to Joe Biden's fucking house in Delaware, where he's like, "I love you, son. I love you.
You're my beautiful boy.
You're my beautiful boy, and I love you. And family's important." And then he's just smiling to a camera behind you, and then fucking having like a conversation with the Easter Bunny about Ukraine.
Or his fucking his face is half blown off,
Yeah,
and he's
right.
survived a facial gunshot wound where he has no mandible and only top teeth.
Yeah.
And he's like I don't know, just the fucking. He's a mummy for the rest of his life.
It's truly heartbreaking.
Doesn't he hang out with stand-ups in L.A.?
Does he?
Hunter? Does he?
Which
I can
stand-ups?
see LA stand-ups doing that.
Yeah,
Those-
like Comedy Store
That
guys?
world being like, yeah, I just became friends with
Hunter.
yeah, right. No, they would honestly, if Jeffrey Epstein like somehow beat the charges and then hung out at the Comedy Store,
Yeah.
I guarantee you there'd
He'd
be
be
LA
on the
comedy.
Fighter and the Kid
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. Jeffrey Epstein just talking about sneakers on Bobby Lee's
surfing.
podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
he's opening for Schultz.
Yeah, right. I'm sure that would happen.
No, I do you like Crazy Days and Nights?
I used to
Yeah.
back in the day. I
Nick
used to
got
read a lot.
really into it.
I was
for a while.
super obsessed forever. I
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
check it like daily, like news.
Yeah.
And I still do.
Yeah.
What's going on these days?
Hunter Biden's hanging out with those 4 comedians who like 4 people who bought a bag of Coke and like
That
3 of them
died?
3 of them died, yeah.
1 girl survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly that girl fucked Hunter Biden.
Oh, nice.
But she's like a stand-up right now. But like I would love to know. I'd be like, so, But apparently, like it got a little hot right there. Like something Crazy Days and Nights was writing about that. They were like in that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the powers that be kind of
They were
leaned
like,
on them.
Yeah, they're like, "Ee."
Damn.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Crazy Days and Nights reveal? Do you guys have what's the best one you ever?
Well, it never happened, but there was a story that the girl that the child prostitute that Don Henley, like, because he killed one of them, overdosed, and then the other one just became like a runaway or whatever. There was a Crazy Days and Nights blind item years ago that she grew up, wound up married to like fucking like Gavin Newsom or something, like wound up married to like some California like politician that had a significant degree of power, and she had the receipts on Don Henley and his manager and producer at the time. Do you know the story?
I remember the Don Henley thing was like a big, wasn't it pretty gruesome? He was handsy? Was he
Well, it wasn't
rifling punches?
handy. You know the song "Dirty Laundry"?
I thought it was a girl OD'd at his house, right?
They're like
A child.
Like I make my living on the evening news. You know the song?
Keep going.
Give me something,
That's pretty good.
something I can use.
I don't know.
People love it when you lose. They love dirty laundry.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I do know it now.
So great song, amazing song, and it's about him killing a 15-year-old girl, and KTLA not shutting up about it.
I'm feeling inspired.
Yeah.
How fucking coke mirrored do you have to be to fucking wake up and fucking
It was
hammer
the
those?
80s, dude.
That's the 80s.
This is
That's
the
what-
80s,
that's what
You know
man.
when you're just like
Rock and roll.
suffocating a 15-year-old?
Yeah, that was the time.
That's what
man.
makes rock and roll
83,
awesome.
baby.
But here's the thing: that's one of the few songs that comes out of the late '70s that actually has any heart behind it. You know, it's not just some like ironically detached bullshit. Things were either heady or meaningless. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that would, like, you know, Don Henley spoke from his heart when he was like, "Get off my back, yeah, I murder kids." That's what makes
Leave me alone.
you know, if you don't want to know how the sausage is made, stay the fuck out of the kitchen.
How am I going to hammer out fucking hits like this when you guys are busting my balls over here? If I want to choke a high school freshman, let me.
Yeah. I don't know if he was handsy, but the story is he got two prostitutes, a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old, just little streetwalkers, and he brought them up to his house in the hills, and then one of them overdosed. He had to call the police, and the police show up, but also his manager and like a bunch of like, you know, cleanup crews basically. And he just said there was like 27 grams of cocaine. He was like, "Yeah, that's the girls." It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 15-year-old has what is that? $30,000 worth of fucking cocaine.
She's fucking wicked good drug
Yeah,
dealer.
yeah, right, yeah. Just some massive amount of cocaine he pinned on like the little girl, and then they just like scooped the kids out of there. The one girl that overdosed, I think she survived that night. They brought her back to life, and then she wound up. They found her dead under the 101, like maybe 3 months later. But you know, they cleaned up the whole thing, like the way you know. And there was a reporter at KTLA that wouldn't drop the story. She kept reporting on it, and it's like, why isn't he facing charges? Why isn't anything happening with this?
He's fucking strutting around the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Mimosa.
yeah.
He's got a 10-year-old in a headlock.
But yeah, Crazy Days and Nights, they had a blind item that I guess the other girl, yeah, she had grown up and fucking made something of her life and got married to a politician who I'm sure didn't have his own dirty fucking laundry.
He's like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
I steamrolled a fucking kindergarten class one time.
Yeah.
But that didn't end up being true.
It just didn't, like, she was supposed to come forward with receipts and it didn't happen.
Oh no,
So, you know, who knows?
dude, the Eagles, man.
Yeah.
They couldn't come back from that.
Yeah.
They were America's first boy band. You know that?
Yeah.
They were like they didn't like some label put them together.
A gay man put them
Isn't
A
together.
gay guy.
isn't
Yeah,
Cre-
so the old Jewish gay man.
Is Creedence
guy-
like
Like, it would
that
be
too?
cute if you were on the guitar.
Shake your little booty with it, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Isn't Creedence like that too? Isn't that the kind
Was
of the same-
Creedence like that?
I think so. Weren't
Really?
they like kind of like produced or like put together?
I think Finger 11 was like that too.
Yeah. No,
They're all-
those
all the
bands, that
greats.
was the return to like we got to do music for real, and that's why it sucked for so long because people forgot how to make music, and it was up to like Canadians with like with ear
Yeah,
gauges.
yellow Oakley fucking
Yeah.
yellow Oakleys on unironically.
Yeah.
That's the best Crazy Days and Nights. Oh, not the best. Just one of the. I like the Hulk Hogan story was the craziest one.
What was that?
It's out of control, and I don't even like. I feel like if
Oh, that
you
he
say
knocked up his sister, or his daughter's friend.
that he banged his daughter.
Oh, he fucked his daughter.
That's what that was.
Wow.
One of them. It was the most insane thing. I remember like sharing it with Charles, just
His-
being like,
his reality show was sickening. I remember watching that when
Hogan
it was on.
knows best.
Hogan knows
best because
Yeah.
it's like it's the whole thing is to like, you know, it's to sell you on the idea that like he may be a millionaire steroid addict with CTE, but he's a good father that shows tough love to his family, and it's like this is fake. This is all fake because you would watch the show and it'd be like, well, what's the son's name?
Nick.
Hulk too. Yeah, Nick. It's like,
he almost died, right?
right. They'll be
killed his
like,
boy.
they'll be
Yeah.
like, well, you got to get your homework. You
Killed
want to
his
go
boy.
hang out with your friends. You got to get your homework done. It's like that's the episode,
Brother.
and then the next
say
day.
prayers, eat your vitamins, smash your friend's head.
Right, the next day on TMZ, he's like, you know, fucking killed 8 people in a drunk driving accident, and then the next episode of the show is like, did you get your homework done? It's it's just so like detached from the reality. It's it was like PR for the family.
Brooke Hogan's got a meeting with Scott Storch on a boat.
I remember
Yeah.
that, dude.
Remember that part? It was very
That kind of tanked Scott's career. He was like giving some of his best beats to Brooke Hogan.
Brooke
So-
Hogan.
Yeah. And he got also addicted to yachts and cocaine.
From Hulk Hogan.
No, I don't know about that, but yeah.
He was like this, hey, you ever see a big boat, brother? It's like, yeah, I guess so.
Can you imagine getting addicted to yachts?
Hulk Hogan being your pusher man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Hulk, hey, Terry. He's his first name.
Terry, yeah.
Hey, Terry, you going out on the bay this week? Actually, I am, brother.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck, get me off this
But
shit.
that's the origin story for a lot of those guys. There was some weird freak named Terry with a chip on their shoulder,
Yeah.
so they just lived in the gym forever until they became famous.
They became,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan banged blonde women that looked like his wife.
Mm-hmm.
My first joke that ever got me into comedy was me telling people that that Hulk Hogan used to do Brooke's laundry. And I made that up, and I never told people I was joking.
Mm-hmm.
I used to just spread rumor because he was always like kind of weird with his daughter. And I just
Yeah, he
struck me.
wanted to fuck his daughter.
It was
for
obvious.
sure.
Like, everybody
yeah.
watching was like, dude, this guy wants to fuck his
He's like
daughter.
one of those
Yeah.
dads who's like, she's the most beautiful woman in the entire world.
Are they
Off the
German?
whole time.
Are they
Yeah, yeah.
German? What's their last name?
Hogan?
No,
No.
that's Irish, but
But that's not the real name.
that's his
It's like
character.
Bulba or something. It's like
Oh,
Sybil.
Balea.
Bulba.
Terry Balea.
Terry Sebulba.
I
Yeah, they're
think
aliens.
Balea's Martian, though.
Yeah, they're
Balea?
Vietnamese aliens, pod racers. So
Yeah.
that's it. That explains the.
Yeah.
Dude.
Underneath that skull, it's like fucking wires. But wires that want to do his daughter's like somewhere in the programming.
Yeah.
Fucking one of the alien coders
He just
was
wants
a
to
fucking pervert.
dip his skin whiskers into her pussy.
And watch his son drift a
Sebulba's skin-
Supra.
Yeah.
Don't drift your Supra underneath a tractor trailer truck with your buddy in it, because
Did he die? The son?
I think no, his but he went to jail for 6 months. We were just talking about this on the podcast and we were looking it up. So
Yeah.
I can speak fluent Nick Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're doing promos now. Like Life hit.
You know what would be a great podcast is Nick Hogan, Ethan Couch, and Brock Turner.
Who's Ethan Couch?
Ethan Couch was that kid that fucking killed a bunch of people in his car, and he had priors, and he was 16, and the judge said he had affluenza.
Oh, affluenza. Yeah, I remember.
And
that
then
kid.
he only had to do like a month in jail, and him and his mom went on the lam. She like dyed his hair finger 11 orange and they went to Mexico.
in the middle of it.
Yeah, they just went to Mexico and were trying to like hide in Mexico, and then they found them. But yeah, Ethan Couch was the other one. But I would love to listen to just an hour of them. I would love to hear them on Don Henley.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Don's a real piece of shit. I mean, I just fucking like to go fast in my car.
Yeah.
Don Henley's over here smothering fucking.
I fingered a girl behind the dumpster because I thought I was cool. And then everyone wants me to go to prison for the rest of my
Dude,
life.
I have to quit swimming because of that shit.
I'll never swim again.
This is
And now
fucking
look,
bullshit.
you,
I'll never
you
get
took
wet.
Brock Turner out of swimming, and look, I hate to say that, but I told you so. It was a slippery slope. They took swimming away from him. Now swimming being ruined by trans people.
Yeah, it's true.
It's because Brock Turner was the vanguard.
You're about to make a great point.
Brock
You're about
Turner-
to make a salient point.
Brock Turner was the last samurai of swimming.
Yes.
his swimming career was the.
And you get rid of him, and now here comes Leah Thomas. And if you think fingering was the worst thing to happen in college swimming, just wait until Leah,
Gets a hard on.
dries off, doesn't feel the wetness of the pool, and needs to be lubed up again. And where's she going to turn? The locker room.
Yeah.
I like the stories about the locker room.
The
The Leah Turner locker room.
Leah Thomas.
Is it Leah Thomas?
It
Yeah,
is.
Leah Thomas. It's some fun shit going
No,
on.
Leah Turner is from the Brock Turner family.
They should
Oh.
call her Thomas the Tank Engine on the team. It's like, how they have the jerseys with just Thomas the
Just
Tank
fuck with her, give her like a real masculine nickname. Let's go, Brutus!
Tommy the Tank Engine.
Fuck him up! Woo! Everybody's real broy at the swim meets.
Yeah.
She's gonna fucking murder you, pussy! Shit talking girls throwing full cups of Coca Cola
Doing
at swimmers.
fucking suck it. DX.
You dumb fucking bitch. Just like
What are they saying
arena.
about the locker rooms?
that? She's just like real loose with her cock.
Oh,
Like she's not.
she's snapping towels.
yeah, like it's not like she's not being like respectful or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
Jesus.
seeing Miss Man in Scary Movie. Do you remember that joke?
Dude, we watched Scary Movie.
The female
over
gym
fall.
teacher in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
They just put like a male bodybuilder in women's clothes. And
Yeah,
the
her
character's name is-
testicles flopped out.
The character's name is Miss Man.
Yes.
Just going around the locker
That's
room.
really when you could do comedy right.
Yeah.
You could hit all the notes.
But we were watching the Harvey show from like 30 years ago, and there's a joke where there's a trans character in the classroom, and he was like, you know, we all want to support what's her name on her transition or whatever, and it's like very, you know, like contextually appropriate, you know, for now.
But also the joke is that she's a piece of ass now.
Yeah, she's a piece of
hot.
ass, and then Romeo fucks her by accident.
Really?
Then he's
Yeah,
like,
he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let that slide. When Romeo starts macking on her, you know what? He just does a little spin. Then the last half of the episode is him just spinning and checking his eyebrows and his hair.
Wait, we were the one we watched last week. They got trapped inside of
Insane asylum.
Yeah, an insane asylum.
Yeah.
They're like, we ain't retarded.
Did they say that?
No, they didn't say it. We were
Oh,
watching it
they
on mute, but that was what
That was what you wanted
I could
to
tell
say.
was happening.
They were.
I knew what they were saying.
Yeah, I knew what there was at.
They were definitely. That's so. That was really big of Steve. Oh, Steve Harvey doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
No, he never one misstep.
Yeah.
You guys are big Steve Harvey fans.
Actually, honestly,
Unironic?
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
His
it's so
stand up,
funny.
his stand up is like world class. I mean, he's like one of the best comedians.
He's
of,
the best.
literally of all time.
The Titanic bit on the Kings of Comedy special is one of the best.
Well,
of all
I mean,
time.
go back honestly, if like because
Doesn't
people
make
people
mistakes.
clown on him because he's had like a daytime television career. But go back and watch any Steve Harvey special, and like you can't. I mean,
No, I
like,
can't poke a hole in Steve Harvey's
You
career.
really can't. And also,
man is an institution,
especially compared to like the dog shit that's out now.
Oh,
You know, I mean, how bad fucking comedy is now.
Uh-huh.
No one is. Comedy used to just be funny, and Steve Harvey was one of the guys that was just funny. You watch it and you laugh. You're not thinking like, okay, well, what does this bit mean? Or
where's he going?
He's
Yeah.
supporting fascism.
yeah, right.
Yeah, well, he made one mistake, which was the Miss Universe pageant, but I don't even think that was a misstep.
That
He was
for
just
fun.
telling them that if it wasn't you, it could be you. It could,
Is that what his response was?
no.
He's a sweetie.
He's no. He messed that up, and I think he felt really bad. But you know what?
What did he do with the mission?
He just said the wrong.
Oh, he said the wrong name.
The wrong bitch.
Yeah.
He said the wrong lady.
Wait, it's weird they're still doing envelopes at award shows because there's been a lot of envelope fuck ups.
Oh yeah, that happened at the Oscars too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did that? Who was the culprit
I don't know.
for that rating?
Was it also Steve
Should
Harvey?
just all be Proctor.
I
Dude.
just can't get it right. It was.
I wrote on this basic cable like comedy variety show, and they would have like comedians on as guests, and at the end of the episode there would have to be like the format of the show was like a game show, and whoever lost had to like do an apology that was like written for them. And we had one comic on, I'm not going to say who it was, but they had him read off the prompter, and he was like illiterate.
oh no!
Just didn't know how to read.
Like Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it was like every third word he could get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Terry Bollea.
Yeah, it was. It was Terry
Stand-up.
Sebulba. Yeah.
Terry Bollea from Florida. He's got a bar and grill now.
Yeah.
I really want to go to his bar and grill.
I'm going to fuck my daughter.
Brother, let me tell you something. When Linda cleaned me up, he had like 100 million or something. Some like really. I remember his net worth being like really impressive.
Yeah. Well, he
When-
won
when he
that
was
Gawker
fingering-
case, so he probably he must have collected that money, right? When
He
they
must. Yeah.
liquidate Gawker's assets, he gets the money. If Gawker went out of business, it's not like they can fight the case anymore.
That
right?
Peter Thiel doesn't get any of the money. I guess he was doing that out of the
I don't think
goodness of
that's.
his heart.
I don't think that is that how that worked.
I
I mean, I
think
guess
maybe.
yeah. He probably had some. He just
Well, he had to pay the
reimbursed them.
lawyers back, probably.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with 35 printers and a bunch of laptops, brother? Like
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
that's their assets. Like an office full of like 2 pallets of printer paper
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like what are their salary? Like what's the net worth of a company that like
Gawker.
there's no cash reserves?
Yeah.
They can like
Yeah,
what's the EBITDA?
It's
Yeah.
a computer news blog.
Where's
They
the
don't make any money.
What's the asset? Like he's like, brother, I got Nicholas and those laptops on eBay.
Right. A bunch of iMacs, and then the industrial elevator that had to carry Lindy West up to the 3rd floor of the Gawker office.
That was actually 35,000. I sold it to a guy, a developer.
The $800 million for AC-130 that had to fly Lindy and airdrop her into the office every day.
That was a big. Thank God for that.
The Lindy transport plane is really where the money came in.
Fuck you, Linda. I ended up with something, you bitch. She must have been really embarrassed when
Dude,
she was watching this.
that picture of Lindy West had a show called like Squeal or Squeech or Screech.
Her show?
Yeah, what's it called?
Shrill.
Shrill, yes,
Yeah.
Shrill. And they cast 80 Bryan as Lindy, like Lindy's character, basically. But, like 80's like, like a heavier girl or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a picture of her next to Lindy West. and Lindy is easily 5 times the size.
She's a fucking Honda Civic.
It's no, I mean it's real. It's jarring to see. It's like when they do one of those things to be like, and this is how big the Titanic was compared to the Empire
This is a
State
Brontosaurus
Building.
versus a school bus.
Yeah. No, it was wild. Like when they explain planets to children.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
That's fun. Like super wealthy, fat, like morbidly obese.
Mm-hmm.
That's like something special.
Well, I knew people that worked with her, because like her whole thing was always like, it's okay to be big or whatever. But you know, like the privately, like people would say like, yeah, it's like we're worried about her. It's like wild how.
We're worried about her. You look over, she's in a fucking wicked nice office with glass windows, wiping her ass with a fucking stick, like a log with a towel on it.
It's a glass corner office that's just filled out like an ice cube tray, just like a cube of skin, with an angry face pressed up against the window. Is it lunch yet? I'm done blogging.
Two maintenance workers with wheelbarrows full of food, like hoofing it through the door. It's just being absorbed into the skin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what happened. It's special to be that big. Like the 600-pounders are so smelly and big.
Yeah. Well, we were worried about because Stav lost the use of his legs a couple years ago. He was handicapped. He was handicapped for 3 months.
He hurt his plantar fascia.
And he tore his plantar fascia.
Yeah, he jumped 6.5 inches.
The plantar fascia is it's just
on the bottom of your
band
foot.
of like fascia, which like covers like it holds all. You have your skeleton and then you have your like the loose stuff and then the fascia kind of holds everything together. So the bottom of your foot is this thick band of like tendon basically, that tore. So it takes a while to heal. So he couldn't walk for 3 months, and like we were real worried that this is going to be it. This is going to be Stav turning into like a TLC show.
Cut a hole in the wall.
I finally got a TV credit.
He was at a certain point just like wheeling himself around in a computer chair in his apartment. And he'd run out of underwear, so he was just wearing bathing suits.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's the move. That's the fat guy move. Blake hurt his back a couple years ago when he was in a bathing suit in his dark apartment watching WrestleMania on an old like computer monitor. One of the funniest things, this guy Blake, I used to be friends with back in Austin. Mm-hmm. I lived with the guy Chris. Chris was also morbidly obese, like fucking, didn't take care of himself. And Blake hurt his back getting out of like a cab or something. And I had to go over there and like feed him Percocet because he couldn't move.
Just spin him, water him down, or
so Blake had a 1-bedroom apartment. So you go in the apartment, there's a living room, the kitchenette, and then in the back the 1-bedroom. And I don't know how it happened, but in his bedroom, I was like, dude, you know what you should do is rip the ceiling fan out, put a projector, turn the bedroom into a movie theater. And I said that as a joke. And the next time I go over there, there's fucking ceiling fans on the floor. And he's turned it into, a game, and he's just played Modern Warfare on this 200-inch screen. Didn't have a bed. There was just a couch.
He gained 140 pounds thanks to your news.
Yeah, and then the bulb on the projector blew out, so he couldn't use it anymore. So the bedroom was just dark, and he was sleeping on a couch with like wires draped from where the AV output was to just an old computer monitor. And he hurt his back, so I go over there, and he had ordered pizza for the week. It's like he had ordered Papa John's for like the entire, because he didn't want to get up and go to the door. And so I would have to come up to the apartment and just open a new can of Coke from his like 4-day Papa John's order and put a Percocet in his mouth. And he's sitting there and he's got like just a sheet covering his like ass watching WrestleMania in the dark in this room. And he's like, I got to start taking care of myself. I don't want to turn into Chris. There's one
Mr.
guy.
Judgems.
There is one guy, just sitting there, just disgusting, getting bed sores on your body, being like, "Well, at least I'm not Chris."
What's Chris doing? Like who the fuck?
Chris lost the weight.
Chris never lost the weight, but Chris got a haircut at least.
Oh, he got a haircut.
Yeah, Chris also had a projector apartment. We lived together, but I had moved out, and then he didn't pay the electricity bill. So that apartment was also dark, and he had an extension cord that ran to the maintenance guy's shed where he was stealing electricity. And then that was like, there was like the refrigerator was like hooked up to a surge protector.
And like near him? Was it like, yeah.
Yeah. He would just wheel around the apartment on an office chair, and there was no furniture in there, and also a projector. And but yeah, I mean, very similar lifestyle back. That's old Austin. People talk about the new. Yeah. When people say Austin was ruined, it means that there's no room to be a guy like that in Austin anymore. Because that's what the vibe of the
You couldn't
city
be
was.
the fucking fat guy from Spawn, blob sewer mutant.
Right, yeah.
And afford it.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
Facebook had to clean it up.
Yeah, be a guy like that who would watch TLC and gawk at people who were slightly fatter than you, but with electricity and people that cared about them. Be like, I hope that I'm never going to be that guy.
Mom's
Which is-
never coming.
I'm never going to be the San Antonio version of myself.
Where they're cutting a wall out.
Yeah,
and
right.
Picking me up with a forklift.
Meanwhile, my house just doesn't have walls because I sold them to buy, beer and Entenmann's.
Cheap cheddar crackers.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. If you want to plug your furniture shop or no or yes.
Oh, yes. Go to my Shamonic's house is my Instagram. We sell a lot of shit through there.
Anything else you want to plug or?
And then the Perfect Guy Life podcast with everybody's best friend, Sam. My pal, your pal, Sam.
And where can you get that at?
And you can get that at Gumroad.
Gumroad.
Gumroad.com/Sam Hyde.
Check it out. Thanks again for joining us. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for
Yeah, it's
having
good
me.
to see you again.
Appreciate it.